Have you ever noticed that Jesus has two different family trees listed in the Bible? If you open up Matthew chapter 1 and Luke chapter 3, you'll find two genealogies for Jesus, and they look surprisingly different. So, what's going on here? Is this a contradiction? Let's dive in. Matthew traces Jesus' line from Abraham all the way down to Joseph. Luke, on the other hand, starts with Jesus and goes all the way back to the very first man, Adam. That's the first big difference, but it gets even more interesting. When you look closer, the names don't seem to match up. For instance, Matthew says Joseph's father was Jacob, but Luke says Joseph's father was a man named Heli. That's a pretty clear difference. The divergence actually starts much earlier. Matthew traces Jesus' royal lineage through King David's famous son, Solomon. But Luke follows a different path, tracing the line through another one of David's sons, a man named Nathan. Between King David and Jesus, the only names the two lists have in common are Shealtiel and Zerubbabel. So, from David's sons all the way to Jesus' own father, the family trees are almost completely different. So why the discrepancy? The most widely accepted explanation among scholars is that the two Gospels are tracing two separate lines for a specific purpose. It's believed that Matthew, writing primarily to a Jewish audience, is giving Joseph's genealogy, Jesus' legal paternal line. This was crucial for establishing Jesus' claim as the Messiah and the rightful heir to the throne of David. In Jewish culture, legal rights and inheritance passed through the father. So, Matthew establishes Jesus' legal right to be king. Luke, however, is likely tracing a different lineage altogether, Mary's. While the text says Joseph was the son of Heli, the Greek wording allows for interpretation. It could mean son-in-law of Heli. This would make Heli Mary's father, and thus Luke's genealogy would be Jesus' actual biological bloodline through his mother Mary. This also explains why Luke's genealogy goes back to Adam, emphasizing that Jesus is the Savior for all of humanity, not just the Jews. So one isn't right and the other wrong. Instead, they work together. Matthew gives us Jesus' royal and legal line through Joseph, showing he is the promised king. Luke gives us his human biological line through Mary, showing he is the Son of Man related to us all. Together, they paint a complete picture of who Jesus is, both the rightful king and the relatable Savior. It's a beautiful example of how different parts of the Bible can seem confusing at first, but when you look closer, they reveal an even deeper and more profound truth.